take a moment and look within yourself at the last few days and ask yourself this. Where have you been in conflict with yourself? Where are you fighting yourself? And it might not be physically fighting yourself, or you're in conflict with, you're going this way and then you want to go that way and you're like getting tripped up. Most of it's going to be within yourself, within your thoughts, within your mind. Sometimes even you'll have conflicting emotions. Like you want to eat that piece of cake and then you don't want to eat the piece of cake, right? It's a trivial example, but it illustrates the point. And I'm going to share a story that is this at the extreme, and how I went from my life being one where I was in conflict with myself and fighting myself all the time and just feeling angst, like just not comfortable in my own skin. And then what my process was over time to get to the point where I developed a flow in my life, where I wake up and I do the things I say I'm going to do. And I'm no different hanging out with my wife or my kids than I am in a video like this, or talking to my friends or a stranger. You can develop a flow in your life so you're not always in conflict internally, all worked up, and then feeling like there's just all this bullshit circulating within you. You can actually get rid of that. But I'm going to take you to an extreme moment in my life, okay? So this was 6-7 years ago. I don't remember the exact year, but it would have been either end of 2018 or early 2019. And I was living out in California at this time, and I was very into law of attraction, self-improvement, reading Napoleon Hill, reading The Secret, watching The Secret, like really attempting to change my life. And at this time, I had already done a lot of what you'd call inner work, shadow work, things like that. I mean, I had done the ayahuasca, I had done meditation retreats, I had done Zen Buddhism, I had read hundreds and hundreds of books on this stuff. And I was starting to learn that you have power in your mind, and what you focus on will grow. And I had started to manifest what I would call really cool experiences. So traveling to cool places, getting deals on things, getting unexpected surprises, getting gifted things. And I was like, wow, I'm this creator. But there was a conflict because I would feel uneasy still. Like, I'm creating some stuff, but there's things I really want to change, like the money in my bank account or my ability to have real awesome relationships that don't just keep crashing. Like that ability wasn't there. So this ultimate moment was I'm on a rooftop in Los Angeles, overlooking the ocean, looking at Hollywood Hills. I'm hanging out with people that were very well off. Many of them multimillionaire business owners, just people who had that security, that financial security, let's say. Internally, might be otherwise. But they're like very well off. And it was this rooftop party, and there was a musician performing, and everyone's talking, networking, dressed well, beautiful people. And there was this feature of the party. They called it the naked sushi lady. There was literally a naked woman on a table. She's like all dressed up, perfect and everything, got the makeup and everything. And you literally got to eat sushi that this like 5-star sushi chef was making and like whipping it up live, and there's music and the lights and everything. The sunset's going down. He's like putting the sushi and you're like eating it. And I'm just like, wow, this is like such an exotic experience. Oh my God, this is amazing. Or it's like a peak energy experience. Yet, deep down, I felt empty. Like straight up, I was like, this is an empty experience. Like, who are these people? Do I actually want to be friends with these people? Do they really care about me? Do I really care about them? And it really had me questioning, what the hell is going on? Because in the back of my head, deep down, I knew, wow, there's probably 100 kids tonight within a couple mile radius that are going to go to bed with no food. And they're not going to wake up to a peak experience. I'm like, man, I can't get that thought out of my head. Like, I actually give a shit about the world, and I can't just mask that with these good feelings. It was a very challenging experience for me. So what I do with that, I use that as a moment to say, you know what? I'm gonna fucking change. For real. I don't know the exact way I'm gonna change, but I'm gonna put that intention and hold that intention within myself of, I actually want to change. Now, that manifested about 6 months later. I was then in Denver, Colorado at a business event, and I was with people. This is at 1 a.m. in the morning with a group of about 14 people. None of them were drinking. None of them were smoking. And it wasn't this like high energy experience. It was a resonance experience. What I mean by that is, if you've ever been around someone who's actually comfortable in their own skin, they're actually confident, they actually mean what they're saying, they don't have some hidden agenda, they're being real with you. I had about 14 of these people with me in a hotel lobby. I'm chatting with one of them in particular. I learned later that this guy was a multi-millionaire who was actually working on world-changing impact. And he had kids and grandkids, and he was like actually comfortable within himself. So I learned that later. When I was chatting with the guy, he just seemed real and genuine. And thankfully, he was like Morpheus for me. If you ever see the movie The Matrix, he was like Morpheus. He could tell I was searching, and I didn't exactly know what I was searching for. What he helped me to see was that the thing that I was searching for was the ability to change for real. The ability to take an idea or a desire that I have and get it planted like a seed within myself. So that seed really grows over time. And not just plant one seed, but plant 10,000 seeds within myself so that I can unlock myself. Then I can help other people do that. And part of that process of planting that seed, this has been the journey of me learning how to also root out all the bullshit. Like if you plant seeds in a garden, but it's covered in weeds and the soil's not very good and there's not enough sunlight, it ain't gonna grow. So he helped me to see how to do this. And then like any good guide, he said, here's enough. You figure it out now. It's like, don't follow me. Take this and run with it. And when you see it work, share it with other people. That was 5 years ago. Now I'm here today. So to bring it back to my point of this video, I was talking about how you know this experience. You're in conflict with yourself. You might be really good at masking it. You might be really good at drinking enough of an energy drink so you don't feel it. You might be really good at smoking weed when you get off work. You might be really good at distracting yourself. But deep down, you know it's there. You know it's there. You want to change. You may want to have a giant freaking global impact. You may just want to be the best parent you can be. You may just want to have happy kids that can actually grow up and crush it in life. You may want to just feel inner peace. But in general, you want to go from a conflict where you're second guessing yourself and you're worried and you have fear and doubt and anger and that comes up. You can go from that and you can dismantle it point by point by point. So it's dismantled. And then the real you comes through. The real you flows through. And you get to a point where then you're able to live. It takes time. And there's a process by which you do this. It's not enough to just on a conscious level say, okay, I'm done being angry. I bet you've tried that before, you know? Or you have a spouse and you get into a fight and you're like, I promise I'm going to change. I'm going to change for you and I'm going to make it better. That was me for years. Not with my now wife, but with previous relationships. Like, I promise I'm going to change and be different. But that programming, that autopilot, that automatic behavior patterns would come up again. And I would mask it. But it kept happening. And I made the decision and I put out the intention that I want to solve it, but I didn't know how to solve it. And thankfully, I learned how to solve it. Now I'm 5 years into this. I still have a ways to go. But I've seen enough for myself in literally hundreds of other people. Same process. Some people start the process and then they go, oh God, change. Change is scary. I'm afraid of change. And then they stall. And then other people, like myself, are a bit more hardcore and they're like, no, I actually just want to change and I have discipline. I have enough discipline to do this every day. So that's the invitation here. If you want to go from that conflict, step one, take your phone, take a piece of paper, and write out what are those areas of conflict that you're facing. It could be a single word like anger. But the more specific you can be, the better. And if you can just find a moment, could be recent or it could be a memory. Such as, yesterday I was driving and someone cut me off and I got really angry. And then I felt guilty that I got angry. And then I judged myself because I shouldn't have got angry. Or maybe it's a memory from earlier in your life. And that memory was a time where you witnessed someone get angry, or you witnessed someone go into fear. Something traumatic happened. Find those memories. Hunt for those memories. Write down a few. Could be 3, could be 5, could be 20. If you want to learn how to then dismantle this, reach out to me. I'll send you some videos. I can send you a free course on how I began this process for myself. But there are tools that actually work. And it's not some theory. It's a physical process. If we went to the gym together, and you'd never been to the gym before, but we walk around the gym together and I go, okay, if you lift those weights 60 times, and if you do that machine over there 40 times, and then we run 5 laps around that track, and then we come over here and then we do 100 push-ups. And we're gonna do that 4 days a week for the next 3 months. Can't you see pretty obviously how you would get stronger from that? Now, some people might go, oh, well, I don't know if I could do that. Okay, cool, we could start smaller. But do you see how you can reason that out? Oh, if I go lift that heavy thing, I see how, yeah, my muscle would break down, and then as long as I get enough sleep, take care of myself, I'll regrow stronger. You can see that. In the same way, you can work your mind in that way. You can work your mind, your memories, your emotions, your feelings, all of that. It works on the same principle. It's called physical programming. It's within you. So you have an option. You can either say, I saw this video. Okay, cool. I want to see what it would take to actually resolve some of this stuff. Or you can time loop. And then we'll come back harder next time. Because in the same way, really listen to this. In the same way that you can either develop yourself and get stronger, in the same way, you can avoid it, and then the conflict will get stronger. It's the compound effect, and it's fundamental to reality. What I mean by that is, like if you go to the gym consistently, and you push yourself, and you do the right things, you will consistently grow endurance, muscle, and all that. And if you don't go to the gym, you will compound disease. You will compound gaining weight, getting unhealthier, having more inflammation, whatever. Whichever way you choose, there will be a compound effect. So you don't get to just sit on the sidelines anymore. Now you're aware. There's 3 steps. There's awareness, then there's the deprogramming, which is that resolving of the conflicts, the dismantling of them. And then there's the 3rd step, which is the reprogramming. And that's putting in how you want your life to go. And I'm living testament of it. I have figured out how to reprogram my life, and it's awesome. And I'm very excited about the future. But a big part of my commitment and what I've reprogrammed myself with is building community. Having thousands of people around me, my wife, my kids, people I work with, locally, internationally, that are all leveling up. So my goal is with these videos to find the others. Find the others that are waking up enough. Then they go, I've read Atomic Habits one too many times and I still don't have Atomic Habits. I've read Think and Grow Rich and I'm still not fully rich. Or you did get rich and then you sabotaged it because you didn't address the underlying programming. You know, you got somewhat rich, right? Maybe you made 20 grand one month. Great. And then you sabotaged it. Or you bought Bitcoin and you're like, oh, wow, my Bitcoin's growing. And then the Bitcoin crashes. It's like, that's not real wealth. You're the real wealth. You're the real asset. But you have to be able to actually work with what's here and change it. And that's my invitation to you. So if you want to know how to change that, and I'll always keep it confidential. If you reach out to me and you're like, hey, I actually watched that video and I have like 5 areas where I'm in conflict. And maybe you don't even feel comfortable telling me what it is, that's cool. But if you're open to that, I can show you more resources of then how to actually correct that so you can develop that next level. All right. See you in the next video.